One of the bigger reasons moms may not be cooking homemade meals today isn't necessarily for the lack of desire, but it's either feeling intimidated or just genuinely feeling like there is not enough time in a day to do so. One of the best things that we can do for our children's future is right here in the kitchen, preparing them nourishing meals that we have prepped with our own hands. We are going on a stretch here on the homestead of having the power out for 48 hours. Luckily, we have a pantry stocked of raw ingredients and a freezer filled with raw meat. Today, I am making our family dinner completely from scratch with fresh milled sourdough bread, crispy fried chicken in tallow I rendered myself, some lard biscuits from our pig that we butchered and rendered down this fall, some deep fried goat cheese balls, lastly, some homemade mozzarella bread with tomato soup. None of these dishes are at all that complicated. However, I will say it was a very normal thing for me to see my mom in the kitchen daily preparing food from scratch. I understand that that was not the case for everybody. As I became a parent myself, I was able to quite confidently pick up the basic skills that it took to create from scratch food for my children. Everything that I'm preparing here tonight is with raw ingredients. I'm using the lard to create some biscuits for the deep fried chicken sandwiches. Using fresh milled flour in all of my recipes here in the lard biscuits, my bread, the deep fried chicken along with the goat cheese balls. I have been using fresh milled flour in most all of my recipes lately. I am completely new to it, but it has been such a fun thing to introduce into our kitchen. I will say there has been a bit of a learning curve with the fresh milled flour. I've had a lot of failures in the kitchen before. I feel like I am starting to catch on and get better and better. Overall, I'm excited to see how the journey evolves in the kitchen with fresh milled flour. If you have the desire to prepare more in your home for your family, I really encourage you to do so. It really is a great way to bless those which you love. The important thing is that you just get started with where you are at. This fall, I felt like I had so much goat cheese stocked up in the freezer. However, I'm working on my last bag here. That makes me kind of sad, but also we put it to great use. One way that I love to use up this chev is to deep fry it. I am grinding up some frozen breadcrumbs that I just had in the freezer, and this will be used as a breading for the cheese balls in the tallow. One thing that I love about preparing food with raw ingredients in my home is the food has so much more nutritional value. If I were to just perpetually feed my children, say, frozen pizzas, I find anytime which I do so, they are coming back within 30 minutes asking for more food. Anytime that we buy packaged food from the store, sure, it comes at a convenience, but it also comes at a cost. Don't get me wrong, we do it every so often, but the thing is, with any packaged food, in order for it to be shelf stable is it needs to be stripped of all the natural minerals and vitamins which are present in your raw ingredients. I by no means am not going to sit here and say deep frying is healthy for you, but I am doing it with ingredients that I can trust. This is with tallow that we had rendered down ourselves from a cow that was raised and butchered down the road. We then processed the tallow down in our kitchen. One of the ways that I love to use up tallow is a cooking oil in the kitchen and also making body butters for myself, the kids, and the baby. If you're a mom watching this and you really want to start making more nutritional food for your children, then I really encourage you to evaluate where you're at and challenge your skills a little further. So, if you usually always buy your pizza crust to then make your pizza, I challenge you to simply buy a bag of flour and make pizza crust at home. With some things, I have definitely had many failures before I started having successes, especially with this fresh milled flour. I'm trying to completely replace store-bought flour and use only fresh milled flour for family in the kitchen. We look at what we feed our children almost as a form of health care. It is our way of almost investing in a health insurance. Yes, I know to some that may sound silly, but I truly believe if we feed our children natural foods on the daily, ingredients which our bodies are designed to recognize and gain nutrition from, really, we are building our children up to naturally grow stronger and build their immune systems for down the road. There is always that which we cannot control, and of course, the unpredictable. But there is some things that we can take control over, and one thing is certainly what we bring into our home is what our children will consume. So we really try to watch that and do the best that we can.
Hey, real quick before I wrap this up, if you've ever watched one of my videos and thought, I wish I could ask her how she handles milking animals in the season of sleepless nights, preparing for a home birth, keeping a semi-peaceful home with three little ones, making sourdough with whole grains, I actually have a way for you to do that. I just opened up membership here on the channel, the highest level, level 3, called Exclusive Ask. What that does is it gives you a chance to ask me questions directly each month. You can ask me anything from homesteading tips, how we manage a chaotic household with young children, home birth stories, natural remedies that we use, homemaking routines, parenting, marriage, etc. Really, whatever's on your heart. I'll answer them personally in a exclusive members only video each month, and it's honestly my favorite way to get to know you all a little deeper. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, just hit the join button down below. There's a couple lower levels too if you just want to support the channel. No pressure at all. I'm just grateful you're here watching either way. But if you would like to join, I can't wait to see your questions and get to know you better.